come, Ray. The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. Now the 2-1. Line drive to the base. Just as the score of the tying run. Green to the plate. And he is safe. Safe at the plate. The Braves go to the World Series.
Have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines that sat when they were children and cheered their heroes.
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable!
A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead it by a score of 3-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mazeroski has hit a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence at Ford Field to win the 1960 World Series.
They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past.
The Pope arrived at Yankee Stadium. As one enthusiastic announcer put it, he is standing on second base.
Reggie Jackson. Long drive right field. It is goodbye. Big World Series for Reggie Jackson.
The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run.
Racker throws. There's a left back. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant.
The 0-1 pitch. A liner off Nagy's glove into center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
The memories will be so thick that I can brush them with my faces.
The 1-0 delivery to Fisk. He swings, long drive, left field. If it stays fair, it's gone. Home run. The Red Sox win. And the series is...
Lolich fires. Ball is hit high in the air. This should be the series. Freehand waving. Everybody win. Foul territory. Detroit wins.
Here's the pitch to Willie. There's a liner straight to Richardson. The ball game is over and the World Series is over. Willie McCovey hit it like a bullet. A line drive right.
Baseball to mark the time.
The Oakland A's take. I'll tell you what, we're having an earth.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Candlestick Park for Game 3 of the 1989 World Series.
It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
Frank Robinson, the right-hand batter.
Long drive to left field. Way back. Yes, it's goodbye. Home run.
Base hit loaded, 1 out. Pena in a chance. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it.
Ozzie with 1 out. Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run. And the
Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
Broadcasted live.
Who wants to have some fun?
There are balls coming from all over the place. Left field, center field, right field. See, this is the kind of thing, quite honestly, right now, that makes you want to see the Chicago Cubs team lose.
Now, you just saying you want to have fun, or do you really want to have fun?
It'll be fun.
Will the next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out, or get them out of here. You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
That is the farthest thing in the universe from the truth.
Hello, everyone, live. It's the Dan Scott Show. And right there is your host, Dan Scott.
All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this Wednesday edition of the program. I am Dan Scott. Good to have you with us. First time we've done a show since, I think, last Thursday, and as I told you then, for the next probably 4 or 5 weeks, it's just going to be once or twice a week, as take a little bit of a break during the summer to rest my vocal cords and do some other things around the office. If you could see what I'm looking at, as opposed, besides just looking into the camera here, it looks like an electronics store exploded inside the booth here, because we're doing a lot of categorizing and inventory and all the things that you have to do during the downtime after the end of college baseball season, which again came far too soon as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, we're glad to be back. Hope that you have had a good morning so far. Hope that you've had a good week since the last time that we saw you. A little bit overcast here right now over top of Paladin Stadium, where we're sitting here on the beautiful campus of Furman University. I do the show from the football radio broadcast booth on a daily basis, when we do it on a daily basis anyway. And just blessed to have one of the best views in the world looking out across the visitor stands and up towards Paris Mountain. It is another gorgeous day here in the upstate. As you can see, I am not alone today. And if you were watching as we were getting ready to come on and start the show just a moment ago, as I leaned over and told our guest, you can take the boy out of Possum Kingdom, but you can't take Possum Kingdom out of the boy.
I'm tearing the place up.
Bootie Cothran, Greenville's own American Ninja Warrior, in studio with us today, because his run that he recorded over the 2-day time frame of April 13th and 14th in Miami airs tonight, 8 o'clock on NBC in tonight's broadcast of American Ninja Warrior. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm
Pull
excited.
your mic up just a little bit.
1, 2, 3.
There
you got
go.
me?
That's
All right, right there. Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited to see the episode tonight. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long wait. And,
you want to find out how you did?
Yeah. I can't wait to see it. I'm supposed to get a full run shown, and probably a little bit more, little profile shown. I believe they're going to feature me, and so I'm always curious to see, what Matt and Akbar is saying there in the stands during the run and all that kind of stuff. So excited to see all my friends' faces, during the run, and finally let the cat out of the bag.
And the TV exposure during your runs over the past few years has been very good. I know going back, I think 3 and 4 years ago, you actually got full profiles and full runs. The last couple of years, if memory serves, they've kind of come back from a commercial and joined you in the middle of a run. But back to a full profile and a full run this time.
Yeah. Let's see. Season 5 was my first season. I didn't get any airtime that year. Season 7 then was my next season, and they gave me a full profile, showed my full run then. Season 8, same deal. Season 9 gave me a little, what they call a fast forward, where they just show a little, they kind of cut in and show kind of a half run. They don't do a profile, don't show your whole run, but cut in the middle. And then with that was the first year I made it to my first city finals.
Which was last year.
Mm-hmm. And they, for that city finals run, they did one of those fast forwards where it's just like a clip here or there, right? While we were away, here's what happens kind of thing. But so we're expecting a little more tonight, and should get some good airtime, and looking forward to that.
I've got a little photo montage here that from time to time I'm going to pop up so people can kind of get a little bit of a glimpse of the kind of thing that you do. These are all photos from previous
those are
runs
Daytona right
on
there.
American Ninja Warrior.
That's Daytona. The Wingnut's a great obstacle. I love those. Debuted last year. Love that one. That was season 6 down in Orlando on the starting platform, waiting to go.
So that was your second year, and of course, we had to get the Bootie bandwagon in there, right?
And new T-shirts this year. That's at my course in the woods. Yeah. Oh, and that's the new one this year. I think they call that one the ring turn. That's right. And back to Rolling Thunder, man. That was Daytona last year. That was a monster.
So the ring turn is from this year. So that image that I ripped off of Google Images is from this year.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's I put something out there today, a little promo image as well. It's got that one, part of that one's in there.
Every year, and we've talked about this in the past, every year there are certain obstacles that are going to be there. But every year there are new obstacles that are introduced. That was obviously a new obstacle.
That was a new one.
What was what is the point of the ring turn? What is the functionality of it?
Yeah. So it doesn't show the complete obstacle, but you'll see it tonight. There's two, and they'll give an explanation. Of course, you'll see everybody going through it. There's two big, large rings, and then one smaller ring toward the end. And you've got to start at the beginning. This one, the first ring's a little lower, and the first two big rings have these notches in them, and they start down at the bottom. And you've got to jump on the rings and maneuver those notches around up to the top so that it gets up and locks into place. And then you swing over and get some momentum going and get to the next big ring. Move that one up into place, lock it into place, then navigate to the small ring and dismount. So that's the challenge. And it's a lot of fun.
Was that the only new obstacle on the course that you ran this year?
No, there was another new obstacle. Let's see, what was the fifth obstacle was a new one called the slippery slope. I have not seen that one before. Kind of a 45-degree salmon ladder motion. It was a very awkward-looking motion to go up that thing, and so to try to figure out how am I going to do that if I get there, and all that kind of thing. It's fun to see these new obstacles and never having had time on them, try to figure out how you're going to go about it, and try to. Sometimes you just got to think, all right, I'm going to try this. And when you get up there, you might try that, and that might be successful. Or you might get up there and see it and totally erase what you thought. And then, no, I got to go with this completely different approach.
Yeah, because I think, again, we've mentioned this before, but it's worth repeating, that when new obstacles are added to the course, the Ninja Warrior folks don't send diagrams to you guys. You don't get to take practice runs on them. I mean, you show up.
Yeah,
and you're hit with it, basically. So I think the worst thing that could happen would be the guy who goes first.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you just don't want to be that first guy. You feel so bad for that first guy or girl. But usually those they put a walk-on in those spots. Some of those folks who wait for weeks for a chance, and then they'll run a few walk-ons through first and then get to the invited runners. So you don't want to be that person, but everybody's paying attention as those first runners go through to see how they approach things and what's going to work and what's not. And so it's nice to be able to see those results and kind of learn from that.
The star attraction of the city qualifiers has always been the warped wall.
Yeah.
And when Ninja Warrior started, the 10-foot warped wall...
14 feet. Tall.
That was what it was initially?
Yeah.
Okay, it's 14 feet warped wall, excuse me.
They've upped it to 14 and a half now.
Yeah. Anyway, that was the star, and it's amazing how few people were actually able to do it so successfully their first time out when Ninja Warrior started, and then how almost routine it has become now. So this year... they've thrown a little enticement in. Now they have, is it a 18-foot wall?
18.
You get one shot at it.
Yeah.
And if you make it, what do you win?
$10,000. $10,000 if you get up that 18-foot wall.
But you have to choose.
You got to choose.
And you can only take one shot at it.
Get one shot at it. And the other change is that if you miss that 18-foot wall, then instead of two more chances at the 14 and a half, you only get one more chance. So if you blow your energy going for that $10,000 and you miss it, and then you don't have enough left to get up to 14, then you don't even get to the buzzer at all.
Watching the debut episode, it was interesting to see who was willing to try to go after $10,000
Yeah.
and who wasn't. And there were actually a couple of folks who did win 10 grand.
Yeah, yeah.
It got up 18 feet.
Daniel Gill, one of the big names.
Right.
And let's see, his was in Dallas, I believe.
Mhm.
And Adam Rayall in L.A., man, he got up there. He yanked himself up that thing, did a somersault over the top of it, and hit that button. It was amazing. He had a great run.
So are you $10,000 richer?
I don't know. We'll have to find out. Check out my bling.
Yeah. And that next appearance will be a paid appearance if that's the case when he comes on the program. This is Bootie Cothran, Greenville's own American Ninja Warrior. His run airs tonight on NBC. 8 p.m. is the start time for the show, and at some juncture he'll be not only running and have the full run showed, but they did another profile of Bootie. So, and they don't come here to do the profile. You submit.
Well, actually, that's typically the case. Sometimes they'll pull footage from stuff that I've sent them in the past, but actually this year they sent a crew down and did some stuff, did some filming with me at my job at the church. And kind of showed some of the stuff I do there, or took video of it, and we'll see how much of that they show. And came out to the house, got some stuff on me and my course there, and stuff that I do out there at the house, and some interviews.
So a big crew from NBC out of Los Angeles came to Possum Kingdom.
That's right, man. You'll probably see that we went out to this barn out in the kingdom where it's got Possum Kingdom written on the side of the barn. Got some footage of that. You'll probably see that, I'm assuming, and yeah, Possum Kingdom's going to be in the national spotlight for a little bit here.
And if it's like anything to do when they any big TV network shows anything to do with the state of West Virginia, which is where I'm from, just the words Possum Kingdom, there's got to be banjo music attached to it, right?
Oh yeah. You got to put some of that back there.
I mean, we wouldn't stereotype anybody around here, but no, that's great that they actually sent a crew out to actually do some filming here, because that's unusual for them to do so.
Yeah. They there was a handful of other ninjas in the North Carolina, South Carolina area that they were hitting, and I was just one of them. And so they would come spend a day, maybe up in North Carolina at one person spot, and then travel over there next day to somebody else. Came down to my spot for a day, heading down south to another person's spot. So they kind of make their trip worthwhile and hit a number of different places at once.
So do you feel like you've become a name on the Ninja Warrior circuit now?
It's interesting. I mean, I don't let any of that go to my head or anything, but it's interesting how I when I first started this adventure, I was just itching to get a spot on the course and try it out and get my foot in the door. And I was seeing all these regulars on the show who were there year after year and had pictures on the internet and promos on TV. And I'm in my kitchen last night cooking some supper and got the TV on. I think America's Got Talent, and here comes a promo, and there I am on it. And then brushing my teeth this morning. Today Show's on, and I hear a commercial come on, and there I am again. And it's just. It's interesting, and I'm really grateful to be as involved with it as I am, and to just get one shot on it is amazing enough. But to be invited back in fifth season, and I get more and more comfortable on the course, which is another added benefit to that. I know the routine of what's happening when I get there, and I can compete at more ease,
Well, I would think you've got some qualities that would make for good television promotion when it comes to this particular sport. I mean, obviously, you're going to have your superstars in any sport, and they're going to be young and at the peak of their life.
Yeah.
We mentioned just running in Miami tonight. We'll see Drew Dreschel, who, if he's not the best, he's what, in the top 2 or 3.
Definitely.
Jessie Graff, who's easily the best female and better than many of the men who run the course. So you always have those people, but then you have how do I phrase this? Because I mean this as a compliment,
Yeah.
and not as a backhanded
Right.
compliment. Then you have people like you,
Yeah.
who are not young. You weigh about 27 pounds. You're aerodynamic.
Yeah.
I mean, and you decided to do this at a for really any sports, but especially something like this at a late stage.
Yeah.
In your life, starting in your mid 40s.
Yeah.
That is a good human interest story. That's a good television story. If you have even a little bit of success, it's easy to see why TV would want to latch on to that.
Yeah. It's there's just a handful of things. Going
I think
for
I
me
did
like
that without being too much left-handed.
That was
right?
that was. I didn't take that as any left-handed or backhanded compliment at all. That was.
I mean, you got the big fat guy sitting here. That's the way it goes.
But yeah, Possum Kingdom, the old bald guy, skinny guy, old guy. Didn't play sports in high school or college, but here's his shot. How's he going to do? It's lives out in the woods life versus city life. There's an interesting comparison there, and it's just I've got look. There's a story there. There's a lot of interesting little parts there. I got to admit. And,
but it's all in the world of television, in the world of media, it's only a story if you do one of two things: have some success or fail miserably.
Yeah.
If you're just mediocre, it's not a story.
That's right.
If you're just mediocre, it's not a story.
Yeah. But I have fun trying.
Yeah,
I have fun trying. I think that's another part of it. Just kind of I got an optimistic outlook on life and everything, and I'm willing to try anything, and I think they like that part of it too.
I love it. Absolutely love it. We need to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue to talk about this. Talk about some of the other impressions that Bootie had from his run in Miami. Of course, he's not going to give away any results. As much as we've tortured him, I've already tried the bamboo under the fingernails and everything else, but he has he's held out. My waterboard is out of commission, so I couldn't put him through that. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the growth of the Bootie bandwagon.
Yeah,
and anything else. If you have any questions, by the way, for Bootie Cothran, you can tweet them to me. At Dan Scott Show, or if you're on Facebook Live, just leave them in the comments section, and we will ask those questions to Greenville's American Ninja Warrior, Bootie Cothran, when we return. This is the Dan Scott Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Holding, number 79, defense, first down. I'm also holding a party tonight.
Great call by the official. Looks like we've got another flag on the field.
Holding a Pepsi. Necessary refreshment.
Hey, Ted, bring some of that Pepsi to my party.
Pepsi and the NFL. Welcome to the Fun Doesn't End Zone.
When the Furman baseball team goes on the road, it travels safely, comfortably, and with the latest technology with Jeans Tours and Charters. Jeans has been a Furman favorite for decades and has serviced Furman baseball for over 20 years. Take it from head coach Brett Harker. Book your next road trip with Jeans. Jeans Tours and Charters online at jeansbussvc.com or call 864-242-1673. Jeans Tours and Charters, servicing the upstate since 1980.
If you've been sidelined by an injury, the St. Francis Sports Medicine Team is here 24/7 to get you back on the field. Our highly trained network of physicians, athletic trainers, and physical therapists treat all types of sports-related injuries, even those that don't occur from playing a sport. Call the St. Francis Hurt Line at 675-HU-RT for priority appointments or at-home advice. Again, that's 675-HU-RT.
The Atlanta Bread Company wants to make your dining experience as convenient as possible, especially if you're ordering takeout. Go online to atlantabreadcompany.com, place your order there, and pay for it too. Then, when you get to the restaurant at Cherrydale Point, you breeze right by the cash registers and go straight to the pickup counter where your food will be waiting. And speaking of food, try the new Shrimp Po' Boy, a delicious and surprisingly healthy addition to the already great menu. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Point in Greenville. All right, we are back as we continue on this Wednesday edition of the show. I'm Dan Scott. That is Bootie Cothran. He is Greenville's American Ninja Warrior. His run is tonight in the Miami City qualifier, 8 o'clock on NBC. He gets the full profile and the full run shown this evening. The results, well, you'll have to wait and see that for yourself, as will I. Quick word as we get back to play here about my friends at the Walk a Mile Project, a 501c3 that is located in the upstate. And if you were watching a couple of weeks ago, we had Heath Burdett and his dad here in studio with us for an extended segment talking about the Walk a Mile Project. They have a great mission organization that's doing an incredible amount of work in Guatemala right now, building homes and finding clean drinking water sources and all of those things. And ironically, just a day or two after Heath and his dad were on the show is when the big earthquake or the big volcano erupted down in Guatemala, which is a few hours away from the area that they actually spend most of their time. But bottom line is there's a lot of work to be done there. The other aspect of what they do is train and equip other individuals and churches to go do mission work. And they can show you all sorts of little nuances of how to be successful in doing it, something they've been at for a long time now, and God has really blessed their efforts. You can see the website, thewhamproject.org, thewhamproject.org for the Walk a Mile Project. Check them out, and please tell them you heard about them here on the show. Got to say hello to a few folks. Our buddy Steve Garrison, a big Furman guy, is checking in from down in Hilton Head, and then a friend of yours, Jason Wu.
Jason, what's up,
watching
buddy?
up in New York.
I'm glad you're on there, bud. Hope all's well.
Jeff Holly, who is the public address voice of Paladin Stadium, will be behind the mic again when football season rolls back around. He has a couple of questions for you. First of all, wants to know, Bootie, we talked about no practice runs, but wants to know, is there any time off camera to examine the course?
From a distance, somewhat. One of the things that I love doing once I get to the right region, wherever the site is, as long as the course is in a public place. You couldn't do this in Orlando. It was in the theme park in Universal Studios, and so you had to buy a ticket to go in and see stuff, which was anyway. But when it's in a public spot and available, you can, all the ninjas come and we'll hang out there outside the barricades, and they won't let you in, but you can hang outside and kind of plot and plan and scheme and see what's going. You're trying to guess what's happening because there's a lot of adjustments that get made. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they might have an obstacle up. They're working on it and testing it, and it's up. And then the last minute, the day of the competition, they might swap it out and put something completely different there because they didn't like the test results of what was going on. And so there are testers, different ninjas that maybe didn't get selected for the show or to compete, and they're down there helping the production team set the obstacles up and make sure they're not too easy, not too hard. And so you can watch these testers maybe going through and doing some things, and so you can see some stuff and guess and speculate.
But it's from a distance.
It's hands off. Yeah. You can't touch stuff. And that's especially for something like a balance obstacle. That's the most critical thing is that you don't know until your foot gets on it how it's going to respond, how much mass it has to it. And that's what makes it so sketchy, and especially balance obstacles. They will knock the best ninjas down, and that's what makes them so difficult. But yeah.
Jeff's other question, and this is a good one because television, these things are recorded and then edited for playback, so it's just one right after another after another. But he says, how much downtime / maintenance is done between contestants? It seems like the grips would get wet and or sweaty as the competition goes forward.
Yeah, there's a little downtime. It takes all night for them to run 110, 120 people through the course. So I hadn't quite done the math on that and can't do it in my head right now, but that's there's a little bit of downtime in there. There's a lunch break that happens about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. But they've got a great team of all the production folks. Everybody's got a job to do, and after somebody runs through the course, while somebody is maybe on the fifth obstacle, somebody else is on the resetting the second obstacle, and then the third, and wiping down. Maybe if somebody falls in the water and splashes, and there's water that gets up on the steps or the sides, they squeegee that off, wipe that off as best they can. Sometimes, they'll have to make an adjustment to an obstacle. Maybe sometimes something will break, and they've got to pause and reset something or retape something, or screw something in. I remember them doing something like that down there in Miami this year. As a piece kind of came loose, reset it. But they got a great team of people that does all that stuff, and it's not too long of a break in between. You might have a typical 5-minute break between runners, maybe, before the next one's ready to go. Resetting cameras, resetting all that kind of stuff.
Are you surprised? I mean, they take great pains to be as safety conscious as possible. There's padding everywhere. If you fall, you're landing in water 99% of the time. But given the high-flying nature and the types of obstacles that you're asked to run through year after year, and they don't get easier as the years go on. They get more difficult. Are you surprised that there hasn't been a serious injury yet?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, and actually last week in L.A., I think I recall somebody coming off of an obstacle pretty awkwardly, and instead of landing in the water, they kind of bounced off of the padding on the edge and went down on the pavement. Weren't hurt, fortunately, but it's kind of amazing that there's not any more injuries than there are. Now, there's some injuries that do happen on the course. Some of them you hear about, some of them they may not show or things like that. But there's, especially on the Ninja versus Ninja show, where you're going top speed against somebody else, I've got a number of friends who've had some pretty bad injuries, knees blown out, or shoulder injuries.
I guess we've come to a point in society, or I've come to a point in my career where if I hear somebody's blown out a knee, that's almost routine.
Oh, I know.
Now.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, I mean it really is. So is that a serious injury? Yeah, but it's not the serious category that I was really getting at. And again, I guess I go back and of course you're old enough, you probably remember this too. But in the mid 1980s, one of the best NBA players on the planet was a guy named Bernard King, and Bernard King tore his ACL, and in mid-1980s technology where ACL surgery was concerned, it was about an 18-month process or longer for him to get back to where he could play in the NBA, and he was never quite as explosive. I mean, he was one of the most dynamic scorers that basketball had at that time. And now a guy tears an ACL, and we've seen it here at Furman just in the last couple of years. I think it was Ernie Kane, maybe the fullback or somebody, tore an ACL in spring practice and was back playing like 2 games into the season.
Yeah, it's amazing
when fall rolled around.
Amazing what can be done with physical therapy and all of that kind of rehab kind of stuff and the surgery, and it blows my mind.
Do they make you sign a release saying they're not liable for any injury suffered on this?
You better believe it. Absolutely. You sign everything before you get on that course. Yeah.
So if you fall and break your neck, you have to mortgage Possum Kingdom to pay for your medical expenses, right?
It's all on me. Swim at your own risk.
And yet people just keep coming.
They're just clamoring for it, man.
Right?
They're just begging for it. Absolutely.
This is Bootie Cothran, American Ninja Warrior. His run is tonight on NBC, 8 p.m. It is the Miami City qualifier that was recorded April 13th and 14th down in Miami. And again, we're hitting on some points that we've talked about before, but if you've never seen Bootie on this program and you're not that familiar with American Ninja Warrior, they don't start these in the morning and run all day long. They actually start these late at night and go overnight
into the morning.
So it's dark, so they can get the best lighting and the best camera work. It's not quite as hot in certain places.
Yeah. It used to be. They filmed in the daytime. You can go back to the old shows and see some of those daytime shows. But man, the production value of having it done at night with the lights, it just adds so much to it, and it just looks so much better on TV. And so that's why they moved to nighttime filming. And especially down in Miami, a place like that, it's so nice to run in that region. It's now in other regions, though. I see these other regions, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Indianapolis, stuff like that. They might have heaters out there on the course to keep this stuff from freezing over. Mm-hmm. I've heard stories like that, and you see people bundled up in the crowd, and so it makes me very grateful to be from the South.
Again, if you want to find out how Bootie did in that Miami run, you have to watch tonight. He is not going to give away any secrets here on the program. I've tried to bribe him, but the $3 that I had in my pocket was just a little bit under his price that he'd had to sacrifice all of that stuff. But let's go back to last year.
Yeah.
And that was your 4th season running, correct?
Yep.
And it's the first time that you went through a city qualifier and got far enough, fast enough to get to the city championship, the city finals. Yeah. So you run the course the first night, mm-hmm. and then you come back the next night to run the city final, right, which they record separately, and they'll play later. And then they did play later in the summer. Mm-hmm. What's that 24 hours or 18 hours or whatever it is like for you? What are you doing there?
Yeah, well, first thing you do after the city qualifiers night is over is sun's coming up. You go back to your hotel and you try to get some sleep. It's kind of hard to do because you've just had one of the most amazing nights of your life, and you're still buzzing off of that. And you go try to get some sleep and get some rest and wake up, and you've got paperwork to do for the next night. You still got some more paperwork and stuff to fill out and things like that. So you got to get that done to bring back with you for the check-in. You check in probably 4 o'clock that after the next day, mm-hmm. To get ready for the next night, because you got more stuff you got to have another walk through the course and see the new obstacles and make sure you understand the rules for each obstacles and things like that. And so yeah, it's just it's a lot of fun. It's busy. It's tiring, but man, there's just a lot of adrenaline. There's you got friends there. It's exciting and stuff that just there's no way you're getting bored.
So after not qualifying your first 3 years, you were very happy to be busy and tired last year.
Yeah, absolutely loved. I mean, making it to the second night that year was just a satisfaction and a relief I'm making progress. I'm getting to where I've always known I could compete, it just getting better. Loving it.
Well, let's talk about the Bootie bandwagon. That is the hashtag that you use on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere else. We said hello to the young man from New York just a little while ago, Jason Wu, who is a dedicated member of the Bootie bandwagon. Obviously that's a nice little catchphrase.
Yeah.
But people have caught on. People are literally jumping onto the Bootie bandwagon, right?
Yeah, we'll see how that goes after tonight. Might get a few more coming on. But yeah, I'm trying to remember where that even came from. It was either I just spontaneously kind of came up with it one day, or maybe it was one of my brothers. I want to say maybe Steve. I don't know if he said something about it.
And in April when you came in here, you actually brought in a little thing that you had.
Yeah, I meant to bring it. And I've got car magnets now, and I've got a little I've got the bootiebandwagon.com domain that goes to my website now, and I've got a little online store as well that's there, and you can get your T-shirts with the Bootie Bandwagon on it, and a little car magnet. Oh, you want to get some looks on in the parking lot or on the street? You put you a Bootie Bandwagon
Yeah, because for 99% of society, that's going to have a whole other meaning, right there. Unless you're in the Ninja Warrior family or you're actually a member of the Bootie bandwagon,
that's right.
You could catch some strange looks from some people.
Yeah, you got to specify that. So mine's spelled with an IE, so I'm BOOTIE, not BOOTY.
Yeah.
So always be sure that people are careful when they're typing that in their web browser,
Yeah. That's like the difference between whitehouse.com and whitehouse.gov.
Yeah.
And as another chapter in my life that we figured that out one time working in newspaper. We were looking for some photos of the White House that we could use for a story, and this was early 2000. And 2001, as a matter of fact. And so the reporter that was working in the newsroom went to whitehouse.com.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever gone there.
Don't.
Okay.
Don't.
Don't go to booty.com either.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And honestly, I probably shouldn't have even mentioned it, but that jumped into my head. Anyway, so BOOTIE bandwagon.
That's
but
right.
It's a neat little catchphrase, and you do have T-shirts and things there, and it's just another one of those ways to get your name out there and get people to know who you are and be interested in what you're doing. And this time of year, it's just fun to see. It really is.
Thanks, man. It's fun to be a part of. It's amazing. I could have never dreamed or thought that I'd be in this kind of a spot, especially at this age. I'm about to turn 50 in September, and here I am competing with some of the best in the world on the national stage, and it's kind of amazing.
Let's take another break. We'll come back and we'll talk about what lies ahead as you turn 50 in September. Before we go out, though, just a reminder about my friends at Security Complete. Located in Liberty, but they service the entire upstate. I turned my security needs over to them a few months ago, and I could not be happier with the results. It protects me, protects my family, my home, especially being on the road as much as I am. I've got that extra peace of mind to know that the house is secure because of the folks at Security Complete. And why wouldn't it be? The two gentlemen who run it have over 40 years combined experience in the industry, and they have the remarkable ability to take the best technology out there and give it to you at a price that is significantly better than any of the major companies, the big-name companies you're going to see. And they do it all without tying you into a contract. There are no contracts involved. So I would encourage you, if you need protection for your home, for your business, do what I did and switch to Security Complete. You see the phone number there on screen, 864-546-0360. 546-0360. You can also catch them on Facebook and Twitter at Security Complete. When we come back, more with our own Ninja Warrior, Bootie Cothran. And we'll do that on the other side as the Dan Scott Show continues right after this.
Hey, Furman fans, it's baseball season. Here at Ingalls, we know that as you root for the home team, sometimes you want more than just peanuts and Cracker Jack. And while we do deliver on your favorite ballpark classics, we're proud to offer a packed lineup of everything you need to make your next meal a home run. Ingalls, a proud sponsor of Furman Baseball and the official grocery store of Furman Athletics. Go Dins!
Life's healthier when you're backed by a Greenville Health System primary care doctor. Because then, the doctor that has your back is backed by the more than 1,000 physicians and specialists at the region's leading health system, all working together to bring you the right care in the right place at the right time. Great health starts with a GHS primary care doctor, and there are more than 200 of them conveniently located throughout the upstate, ready to see you. Find yours today at ghs.org/mydoctor.
Zaxby's food has always brought people together. Catering to the big moments, the little wins, the long talks, and the quick getaways. Because food this inviting is bound to add a lot of flavor to your life.
Introducing the Zax Pack. Served with chicken fingers, sides, Texas toast, and iced tea. Pick one up for dinner or your next event. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
I was surprised recently when I learned that Americans spend $80 billion a year on illegal sports gambling. Sure, that's spread out over millions of gamblers, but still it makes you wonder where that money's coming from. Unfortunately, too often it's coming from money that was intended to buy groceries, pay the mortgage, or even put children through college. If gambling's had a negative impact on your life, call the SC Gambling Hotline toll-free at 877-452-5155. Help is confidential and available 24 hours a day. A message from the South Carolina Department of Alcohol and Other Drug Abuse Services.
It's 10:42 as we continue on this Wednesday edition of the program. I'm Dan Scott. That is Bootie Cothran. This is the preview of Bootie's run tonight on American Ninja Warrior, the Miami City Qualifier, 8 o'clock on NBC. And, well, you'll have to tune in to find out how he did. Every athlete, I think, no matter how, and it should be really every person, whether you're an athlete or not, should never stop learning. Should always be seeking to learn something new, something different, and one of the mantras of this show, and has been in every version I've had of it, is that our main goal is to try and learn something that we did not know by the time the show's over, and normally it starts with me because there's a lot that I don't know. The Miami run, what did you learn about Ninja Warrior or about yourself maybe that you didn't know?
Wow, that's a tough question. Should have given me that one at the break. I thought about it.
That's not how we operate here.
Spontaneous.
Totally stream of conscious,
man. What did I learn? I think every time I step on the course, I learn a little something new. That's kind of the way I approach anything. I try to have an open mind of what I'm doing and have a willingness to adapt to whatever circumstance I'm in and learn. And so every experience I think that I have is a learning experience. I love to just go through life that way. I think in general, and just soak up stuff either by observation or participation or trial and error. One of the things I did as a kid was took my toys apart to try to figure out how they operated, you know, and
I did the same thing with radios.
And
then they didn't operate anymore.
Right. You put them back together and you got little pieces left over, but you learned something in the process, right?
Yeah, don't do that. Your parents won't buy you a new one.
Yeah, but the education in the process it's worth that's your tuition, I guess, is the expense of it. But I'm always learning something. Whether it's a technique of going from obstacle to from element to element on an obstacle or things like that. Those wing nuts down in Daytona, I saw that picture pop up. I remember when I was on those, I was going from the first one to the second one. And I did it well, and I did it with a great mental confidence. I was like, I was really going for it in my mind, and I was swinging, building up my momentum on the second one to go to the third. And I thought to myself, all right, don't mess up, don't hope you get this. It was very timid. It was a very timid thought, and I had to stop and just erase that in my head. And I said, all right, dude, shut up. You just did this from the first one to the second one. Stop being a wuss about it. Just go for it, and you can do it. And so, that's just another one of those learning things where you learn that you can do more than you learn that you can do more than you think you can, and you learn how to control your mind, how to focus and on things like that, and not let your mind take over and your doubts take over. I think that's one of the things that's really I've become more aware of is not letting those doubts kick in and take over.
It's kind of like the old baseball saying, "Don't think, you can only hurt the team."
Yeah.
I mean, because should have done anyway, all the mental preparation,
right,
before you did the run,
right,
and then it's just. I mean, there's obviously a thinking process and a processing how you have to get through these obstacles as you're going on, but there's that fine line between processing and then paralysis by analysis.
Right. Yeah. At one point, also in Daytona, I was standing in front of the balance obstacle, the balance bridge, I believe they call it, and it was, I could have sat there and stared at it and okay, but I thought, all right, man, just go. Don't just sit there and look at it. It's not going to get any easier. Just use your instincts and go. Boom, and I'll bounce right across. And so yeah, that's kind of the way I approach those things too. Is try not to overthink it. I think Akbar had a funny statement one time. I think it was something like overthink and the drink, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you don't want to overthink it. Just use your instincts, use your natural abilities.
By the way, you have promised Matt Eisman on the show, and there's no Matt Eisman.
There's no Matt Eisman today. Hey, Matt, where are you, buddy?
One of these days,
one of these days, we're gonna get him on.
Yeah, that would be cool. And it's interesting, just looking at it from a broadcasting standpoint.
Yeah,
you watch the early years of Ninja Warrior, and watch where they are now, and how far Matt and Akbar have come in their enthusiasm, in their theatrics, and early on it was you're going to a break and we'll be back. This is American Ninja Warrior, and now, and it has been for a few years, it's Matt Eisman screaming American Ninja Warrior.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
it's just to see how they have changed in 10 seasons.
Yeah. And I think, let's see, Akbar came on, I think, in season 5, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been, I love what he adds to the show. Some of the things he says and just little quotes here and there, and just his enthusiasm as well. They're a great team, and Christine down on the sidelines. I'm glad that when I first started season 5, it was Jen Brown was on the sidelines, and then they had Christine, I think, in season 6 or 7, and they've been a great trio ever since, and they'll stick together. I hope that doesn't change.
Well, it's like any team. The longer you're together, the more continuity you're going to get, and the better chemistry.
Yeah.
That you're going to have.
It's like us, Dan.
Exactly. in a totally unrelated way. No, but it's like for me working football with David Cobb, or working any sport with Tom Van Hoy, and Tom's probably the best example. He and I have worked together in one form or another since 2005, and at some juncture, it's true what they say. You become almost like a married couple. You know what the other guy's thinking. You can finish the sentences.
Yeah.
We can watch something unfold on the field, and you can just tell that both of us are heading in the same direction with the analysis or the quirkiness of something that may have happened, and that does not just happen. It is trial and error, and it is working with each other over an extended period of time, and you can sense that chemistry between Matt and Akbar now that they've been together for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. It's fun to watch them do their thing, and I hope that just continues for a long time, and I hope I can be a part of it, man. It's a lot of fun.
Well, you'll be 50 in September.
Yeah.
There are a handful of 50-year-olds who every year run, 50-plus-year-olds who regularly run in this event. How long do you see yourself continuing to do this?
Man, people ask that question, and my response is always, as long as my body will let me keep doing it. I've got my share of aches and pains that are starting to hit me at 49, and I certainly don't feel like I'm in my 20s or 30s anymore. That kind of changed back in my about 45. I started feeling a little more, and but yeah, as long as my body will keep letting me, I'm going to be out there as long as they'll have me. So I'm having too much fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying promoting fitness and all the little things I'm able to do at schools around the area, helping to talk with kids to encourage fitness and activity and things like that. And it's just something I really enjoy.
Well, and we'll talk more about promoting fitness in just a moment. But even as the sport continues grow, and we mentioned that there are a handful of 50-plus competitors that run on a regular basis. Maybe it'll end up being like golf. Maybe you've got the PGA Tour and the senior PGA Tour. Maybe we'll have a senior Ninja Warrior
That's right.
competition at some juncture.
They've actually got a junior one that's coming out now.
I was not being totally facetious when I said that. Partially facetious.
So I'm curious to see what these young kids are going to be able to do. It's seeing some of the younger ones, the 19-year-olds that were on this season, that they lowered the limit and let some of the 19-year-olds come on this year.
Because previously it was 21?
Yeah, it was 21 previously, and these 19-year-old kids are coming on, man, and they're tearing it up. And it's amazing to see how far the obstacles have come in the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really curious to see how far they're going to go in the next 10 years, because they're just going to get harder and harder.
Well, and if you think about someone who this year ran at age 19, if they started watching from the very beginning, we're talking about somebody who was 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah.
So they've kind of grown up with it.
Yeah. It's amazing.
It just made you feel a lot older, didn't it?
Yeah.
Me
you
too.
Did. That's okay.
Me too, because I'm older than you are. Speaking of promoting fitness, you were telling me during the break, as we've talked before, there are some other Ninja Warriors in the Greenville area, some of whom may get some TV time tonight. But you guys are doing what some other folks are doing in places around the country, and in the not-too-distant future, we could see a Ninja Warrior-type gym facility opened here in Greenville, correct?
That's right, man. We're excited. Brett Sims has been involved with Ninja Warrior since it started. He's been over to Japan and run over there. He's been to Vietnam and Malaysia and all these places. His wife, Grace Sims, is from Winston-Salem, and they both live here in Greenville, and she's been involved with Ninja since about season 6 or 7, and she's competed over in Vietnam as well. I think that holds the title of the first woman to beat to go the furthest or something over there. I don't want to mess that up, but anyway, we all met through Ninja Warrior and are all here in Greenville, and we've decided to partner together and open a gym, and it's going to teach and be a facility for Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, I was going to say because gym can be kind of a misleading term.
Yeah, not like a weightlifting, pushing weights around gym. This is going to be obstacle training. It's going to be parkour training.
Which is, for people who don't know what parkour is?
The best I call it urban gymnastics. I think Brett and Bob might refer to it a little differently. I don't remember how they describe it as best, but it's movement. It's
outdoors,
efficient movement through your environment.
So swinging on step railings and
jumping
and flipping on rocks and
exactly. There'll be boxes and structures built. And these types of gyms are popping up all over the country, and they're finding great success. And it's not just a play facility where you come in and play, but it's a teaching facility where we've got coaches teaching and training how to do these movements and how to move through your environment. When I grew up with woods behind my house, and I jumped across creeks and streams with seeing on rocks like that, and swinging on vines and climbing in trees, and it was just I kind of learned that stuff naturally on my own. A lot of kids don't have that exposure, and I think it's going to be just fantastic to encourage fitness and
people are going
to have something.
People
like
are going
that.
to find this hard to believe, given my physical state now. But growing up in the mountains of West Virginia when I was an athlete. Same thing.
Yeah.
Climbing mountains, climbing trees, swinging on things.
Yeah.
All of those things that we just did because that was the environment.
Yeah.
And now people are creating environments. To do these things.
Yeah. Exactly. It's good. It's important stuff, I think, too.
So what is the timeline for this opening up, or do we have one yet?
It's looking like that. We're shooting at like a January start date,
Really?
January 2019.
And the location?
It's going to be it's got a great location over near Haywood Mall.
This is, again, Bootie Cothran from right here in Greenville, or Possum Kingdom, if you will. And his run on NBC's American Ninja Warrior is tonight at 8 p.m. It is his 5th season.
Yep.
And you will see a profile and the full run tonight, and we will all watch together to see what the results are, if he is able to build off of last year's advancement to the city finals, or if he crashes and burns.
Exactly.
Either way, the media is going to jump on it.
Right,
that's how we are. Again, nothing in the middle.
Right.
Nothing in the middle. You excited?
Oh man, I'm really excited. It's been since April. What's that? 2 months? April, May, June. Yeah, 2 months, and I'm anxious to see it.
You've had to bite your lip for 2 months.
Yeah.
How many times do people come up to you and say, "Oh, come on, Bootie, I won't tell anybody"?
Yeah, everybody wants to know, and I'm not tempted by that. I just laugh and I enjoy.
Get thee behind me, Satan! Right?
No, I just enjoy watching the other folks suffer. You're not gonna get it out of me, so I just enjoy smiling and saying you'll find out.
What else do we need to know about the run tonight, or about the telecast tonight?
Wow, just don't miss it, man. NBC at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central, and heck, if you're watching and you're supporting me, take a little shot of your viewing party with your friends or your family on the couch, and post it online. Give me a hashtag Bootie Bandwagon and
BOOTIE.
Yes, IE. And put it out there. Share with your friends. Tell everybody to watch.
And again, as I mentioned a little earlier, not only from our interest will Bootie be running tonight, but if you're a Ninja Warrior fan, big names like Drew Dreschel, Jesse Graff, and some others also ran in the Miami City qualifier.
Yeah. Drew was down there. Jesse, Brett Sims, of course, his wife Grace, and J.J. Woods, Ryan Stratus. You'll see all those names running.
It's good stuff. You came in here and wanting to know what we're going to talk about, and we've knocked out an hour.
Man, how about that?
If you want to find out more about this guy, the website is
BootieCothran.ninja. Or you can actually go to also BootieBandwagon.com. Just be sure you spell that with a I-E, not a Y. You want to be careful typing that in the web
and
browser.
Please, and I know that I unintentionally maybe put that thought in your head, but don't be tempted to put the Y in there. Just go BOOTIE bandwagon.com.
There you go.
And it'll take you right to the website. You can even get your own Bootie Bandwagon shirt.
That's right. You can pick up a shirt there. You can get you a big old 16-inch Bootie Bandwagon car magnet. Have everybody on the road go, wow, what's that?
Do you drive down the road with those car magnets on your doors?
Absolutely.
Nice. No shame. No shame at all. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Thanks, man. Me too. Thank you for
coming in.
Appreciate you.
If you have any questions, BootieBandwagon.com, and we are looking forward to the run tonight. Again, 8 p.m., NBC for American Ninja Warrior. That's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you for your kind attention. We will see you back here again tomorrow if all goes well. Until then, I'm Dan Scott. God bless you, and so long, everybody.